What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane back again with another Powerbook 3 Raising Kanan video. And in this video, we are breaking down episode 9. Let's get into it. Yeah, I knew the episodes 9 and 10 would be the most pivotal, the most action-packed, the most drama-filled of the series, and episode 9 did not disappoint. Before I jump into all of this goodness that was episode 9 and how we got to see a lot of the characters evolve, make choices, make decisions, do some wild go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join the tribe so that you don't miss any of my Powerbook 3 Raising Kanan videos, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, kick it with your girl, post comments as you're going ahead and watching, and let me know what you think, what you thought of the episode. Alright, so the episode opens up and we get a voiceover from present day Kanan talking about family is the only thing that you're born with, the only thing worth dying for. And Marvin is on a mission. He literally sprays Unique's crew while when Unique is picking up his son from school. You can already tell, like, Unique knew what was going down. His head is definitely on a swivel because not only did he have his goons with him, but he also had backup, which was very not far away. So by the time people realize what's going on, two other cars pull up and they're firing towards Lil Rob and Marvin in this van, so they're not able to actually get away with the hit. But to me, Marvin is giving focus. Marvin is giving on a mission. Marvin is giving, I'm finna get you. You tried to shoot and light my brother on fire. This is it. This is a wrap. And they actually put a little saying to the test that all Unique's cars were bulletproof because you can see, Unique comes out without a hair out of place, without a bullet hole, without anything. Him and his son are completely fine. One of his drivers was dropped on there. But at the end of the day, it wasn't too many casualties as it probably should have been. The way that Marvin was spraying them down, I definitely thought that more people was going to fall, but they didn't. And that's all good. I think the most important part of this opening sequence, or what we see, is that Marvin winds up killing Lil Rob. And it's because it got back to him about the snitching. And Lil Rob, you was a dead man walking as soon as you mentioned Kanan's name. You talking about Kanan as a kid, he wasn't going to do no time, he was trying to protect Marvin. That's not how Marvin moves. That's not how Marvin works. Marvin might be a fuck up, Marvin might be raggedy, Marvin might be a former fiend, but one thing he's not is disloyal to his family, and he would never put Kanan's life behind his own. So even Lil Rob saying, well, I only did it to protect you, he's like, well, you should have just let me fry then, because that's my nephew, that's my sister's son, that's not what we doing, that's not how I move. And that's something that reverberates throughout the rest of the episode, because we have a conversation later on between Rock and Marvin, which I just thought, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that, because I thought that freaking conversation was so masterfully done. The scene was so simple and nuanced, but everything that was said needed to be said, and it really let us know exactly who we're dealing with both of these Thomas siblings. But let me go back to where we were. So we get to see Marvin take out Lil Rob at the beginning. It don't even look like Marvin has slept by this point, but you know what? Do your thing. You mad? You pulled your brother up out this burning house and you mad? Do what you gotta do. Now Lulu is in the hospital and he's unconscious. We get to see that very early on because Rock is there and Symphony shows up for Rock. And I'm really confused with sis, because in the last episode she was just giving, I want to have more kids, I want to be able to take a step back from the business, I want it to grow so big so that it can be able to run itself, whoop-de-whoop, I want to be with you. And now she's giving smoke, drama, and stress, and all Symphony did was show up. She literally is like, I didn't tell you I was here because I didn't want you here. And Kanan is the one who actually told him where she was at, and he's like, yo, let me be here for you, I want to be here for this part of the business. And she goes on this whole little moment of like pushing him away, and I'm just like, why? And side note, y'all, I am so tired of watching women sabotage their hair. I have had it. I have done it enough myself. I'm now seeing it on multiple television shows, of multiple of my favorite television shows with some of my favorite female characters, and I'm sick of it. Just stop. I don't even know why you mad at Symphony right now, right? Nothing has even happened. And then she goes as far as hitting below the belt before he can even break down the whole Tony situation, but he does get it off, right? He tells her a little snippet. He don't tell her everything that he was probably going to tell her, because she is just literally doing the most berating this man. And I was wondering like, how much is Symphony going to take before he says, all right, fuck it, I'm done? Or before he says, you know what, it ain't even worth all that. Like, I know that he loves Rock, and that comes up in this episode, or that comes up in this moment too, which is like, she don't even really register that, because I think this might be the first time that he actually said it. Those words just kind of like roll off her back like she a duck and this is some water, right? And it's like, girl, you know that you love him too. It's just stressful. And I know that Rock is upset and she's emotional and she feels out of control. So that could be also why she have these knee-jerk reactions to people who are close to her, like Symphony. But I think that it's really ridiculous. Like, she has this whole spill about she was unfocused and dreaming up some shit that she can't have, and now she's back to being focused and she ain't never going down that road again. It's like, girl, it's okay to dream. It's okay to have desires outside this drug game. Like, cut it the fuck out. You're being ridiculous. Now, at the hospital, we get to see these things. We cut back and forth through the hospital throughout the episode. But at the hospital, Detective Howard gets there. He takes a little smoke break, and thank God he didn't give up these cigarettes just yet, because he is able to literally peep the whole play right before it plays out. He's literally at the right place at the right time, and he peeps the nurse coming out, giving some of Unique's goons some scrubs as well as a pass to be able to get in. And I believe that they were trying to hit Rock and Lulu, but we're just gonna go ahead and say that they were trying to hit Lulu and finish the job. The way that they tried to do it was very, very smooth. They had the nurse distracting the police officer that was supposed to be guarding Lulu's room. They roll up in there with the silencer and they ready, and Detective Howard had already peeped it, so he like, put these damn guns down, you simple. And I love that moment. Like, I really, really, really love that moment. It was so very clear. If you was in that same space of Detective Howard and you actually were looking around and paying attention, it was obvious what was going on, but it was completely not obvious to like the random world who has no idea that this is a potential threat. And I loved how they actually showed that visually. Now, y'all, I thought we were done with Nicole's parents, and I wish we would be done, but I guess you're never really done with well-to-do white people who got a little racist chip on their shoulder and they grieving their daughter's loss, because Nicole's mother threatens Bert. She finds out that Bert got Jukebox released from those police officers that picked her up after she broke into their house, and now she down at the police station throwing a tantrum talking about something. You don't know who I am, you don't know who we are, we ain't done with this shit. Girl, go sit in the chapel, talk to Jesus, and process your pain, and leave everybody else the hell alone, please. Leave everybody alone. I'm gonna need this little father to do more. Like, he was definitely trying to calm her down and to like pull her back in this police station, but he needs to get the reins. He needs to figure out how to gain control of the situation, because Nicole's mother is showing her entire bigot racist ass, and I'm tired of it. Now, we get a few very poignant voiceovers from present day Kanan in this episode, and I don't typically always talk about them because not all of them land for me, but the ones in this episode really did land. From him starting the episode talking about the importance of family and families worth dying for, to when we go back to the hospital and we see Detective Howard talking to Rock, and present day Kanan says, ain't nothing more dangerous than a desperate nigga. Child, I knew that this was going to go left, and this was not going to be an alliance that we kind of hoped for. I'm not going to hold you. I was really hoping that Detective Howard and Raquel could just get on the same page and be parents to Kanan, and not necessarily physically get on the same page, right? Like, Rock is going to do Rock and he going to do her. But it behooves Rock to have a police officer as her friend that is looking the other way, and also helping her get out of some of the messes that Kanan is creating for the most part. But if she creates, or if Marvin creates along the way, boom, bam, pow, we got a little support. To me, it behooved her. It behooved her to tell this man, oh, okay, I'm going to introduce you to your son. We are calling a ceasefire between us. You need to help me with Unique. She lays all this out. Like, if I'm going to do this, and you need to do this, and this for me. To me, it felt like a fair trade. Shout out to Drake. But I guess not to Rock, because the way she plays it, I'm just like, girl, why? Now, I am going to talk, once we get to the end of the episode, I'm going to talk about my two theories. So, what it looks like versus what I believe it actually is, and those two things are very, very different. I just wanted to make the note right now, because we get over that moment of them discussing, like Kanan making a comment about him being a desperate Negro, and that is a very important thing to keep in mind. When your back is against the wall and you have nothing else left to lose, your options open up a lot. I don't think Detective Howard had been backed into a wall just yet. Yes, he's dying. Yes, he needs this bone marrow. But I don't think he really hit rock bottom, or he literally saw that he had nothing else to lose until the events that happened at the very end of the episode. Now Rock is going to really have a problem. But we're going to get to that. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, post a comment. Let me know what you thought about Rock in this moment telling Detective Howard that she gets a pass and that this is how this is going to go down. Did you think that she was going to honor her word? Let me know all that in the comment section right now. Pause the video. Let me know in the comment section. Now, from us seeing Bert getting rolled up on by Nicole's mother, we then see Bert rolling up on Jukebox at Nicole's grave site, and Juke tries to protect Kanan while Bert is asking all these questions. And this is a very slow burn, which it makes sense because we got to be able to, I guess, see the relationship build up or play out. But I was like struggling watching Bert and Jukebox go back and forth with this little coy banter. But it makes sense that by the end of the episode, I was just like, why am I watching her trying to play friend to this girl? What, like, girl, we know you want something. You know you asking all these questions. Like, I can't. And it was interesting to watch. Well, we knew that Jukebox was going to protect Kanan, actually, because she's very loyal. Something that we also learned after this, because we get a scene where Rock talks to Kanan at the hospital, but then also Rock talks to Marvin at the hospital, and they are at the chapel at the hospital, and we learned that Rock didn't send Marvin early in the episode, so he out here spraying, he lighting up the streets, he's setting stuff on fire all on his own volition. He still is not a member of the Thomas clan as of right now, because he has not been rehired, and he likes his new freedom. He likes how he's doing it. And one, nobody's going to tell him how to fight for his family, how to honor his family, how to protect his family, and how to hit back about his family. They tried to kill Lulu. He pulled Lulu out of a fire. The gloves is pulled off. All bars are lifted. I'm going to do what I want in these damn streets. And honestly, I love the energy. Marvin, to me, seems so, like, way more focused in this episode than we have ever seen him. He seemed very, very much so determined, and like, this is what matters. Like, you can tell that he's fighting for the thing that matters most to him, and I'm not even mad about it. Like I mentioned earlier, this is like the realest conversation ever that we get to see happen between Rock and Marvin. And in it, he admits to Rock being better at this whole game and leading than he is. He admits to like what his position is, but then he also admits to his feelings. Like, he gets very vulnerable about like whether she's better at it or not, he still has to be a man, and what he feel like a man is, and how they have been moving, he don't get to feel like a man, and that's a goddamn problem. And you know what, patriarchy or not, misogynistic or not, I respect him for his feelings and articulating them the way that he did. To me, this is one of my favorite scenes of the entire episode, because I feel like I finally get to see who Marvin is, aside from the characterizations and the dumb decisions that he has made. But this is who he really is. And you actually get to see that Rock actually does have respect and love for him. And regardless of how many times she tells him that he's stupid, he's her stupid brother. He's hers, and she's never going to cross that. And I felt that, but you know, every so often in their dialogue and how they interact in the series, it brings up the question of like, is this really how it is? But yeah, in this moment, in this conversation between Rock and Marvin, we get to know what it is and what it ain't, and actually what it's going to look like moving forward. Though he resists initially, Marvin actually does concede to like coming back into the fold, even though I think that just by way of them having this conversation, the way he works and in the capacity that he works within the business is going to look a lot different. Like, he's not just going to be this tell me what to do man, but I can see him stepping into a little bit more space of authority and holding down a lot more, especially with Lulu incapacitated right now. So this conversation was just very, very important for many reasons, and I really think I want to make another video to talk specifically about this conversation and what it means for the rest of the series and how we see these siblings as we go along in the series, not even just in season 1. So again, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss when I post that video. I got a lot of break off videos or topic videos coming specifically from this episode, because we got so much. They gave us so much in this episode, and we love to see it. Now, Marvin goes from one of the realest conversations that he has had all series long, one of the best moments for his character development, just from a scene that just makes him look like that dude. Like, it redeems him for so many things, to one of the lowest moments of him in this entire series so far. When he finds out about Jukebox and Nicole, he stumbles upon the tape of Jukebox and Nicole singing when Kanan complains about the music, when they prepping for whatever they prepping for. They prepping for their war, and they getting Kanan up to speed. But Kanan starts to go ham, like give a million jokes on the music that they playing, and they're like, oh, Jukebox has some music. So Marvin goes into the room looking for music. How that translates into him searching the place, I don't know. But then that also means that he finds the tape, he finds the photos, and then he starts to put two and two together, and immediately Marvin is stressed. Now, I've gotten a lot about Marvin's character in this episode in reference to his character development and understanding him a lot better, but I still don't understand. Like, I get the whole Marvin is old school, but what part of old school means homophobia? Like, what part of old school means you use the F word? And he called this girl Lebanese, y'all, trying to call her a lesbian and called her Lebanese. Like, what? And the F word that I don't say it, so I'm not going to repeat it here. I will drop the F bomb before I will ever drop the F word, but he literally calls her a girl F word, and I'm just like, why? I really want to understand why Marvin feels the way that he does around homosexuals or about homosexuals, because I don't really understand that, and I don't know if I buy, well, he's old school, and that's supposed to just give me the clarity I need to understand that. Like, I need to know if something happened. Now, we do get a little hint, right? Because he says, this is your mother's side of the family, and we know, like, I did a video on it, we will get to meet Jukebox's mom in season 2 of Powerbook 3 Raising Kanan. They announced a bunch of new characters that will be entering the series, and I did a video specifically on Jukebox's mom, so we know that some of it's going to play out, or we're going to learn more next season when we get to see her. But he literally references her side of the family, and that's the reason why Jukebox is gay. Marvin just gets very, very disrespectful. Now, Jukebox shouldn't have spit in his face, I get that, but he got really, really disrespectful, talking about Nicole needed to die, he's glad the girl's dead, like all of this stuff. He literally just came with dagger after dagger after dagger, and Jukebox did all that she could, and then a fight ensues, and like a whole fight. Like, y'all, I thought Marvin was gonna kill this girl. Well, clearly he didn't kill a girl, because we see her in power, but he was very close to killing Jukebox. And in the scene, I'm still like processing it, because we see Jukebox switch from Jukebox to Laverne very easily in the series. Like, it's almost like a switch flips in her, right? Like, she's very emotional, then she's not. She is upset, then she's cool. She's playing this cop, but then she's very, like, there's a lot actually happening, and she switches in and out of Laverne and Jukebox very, very easily. This was the very first time that I saw Marvin actually hit a switch, because he is literally seemingly possessed while he got his hands around Jukebox's neck, choking all the life out of her. And then when he realizes what he's doing, he's instantly remorseful, almost as if like he can't possibly believe himself. And I'm like, yo, maybe this is a thing that she actually gets from him, and we're probably going to see Marvin having these mental shifts a lot more as we move forward. Because again, I haven't seen it up until now. Like, if y'all can remember an episode where Marvin has flipped the switch like this, you let me know. For the most part, he's been in one gear, and in that one scene we saw him switch into 3 gears in a very short amount of time, and that was a little bit scary for me. Like I said, this is a very long video, y'all, but there was so much by way of character development in this episode. I didn't mention at the hospital the conversation with Jukebox and Rock, but that happens when Jukebox stops by the hospital before she actually goes home. We know that Rock agrees to let Kanan see Detective Howard, because we see Detective Howard talking with his doctor at some point in the episode, and he lets her know, like, yeah, she agreed that I could see him, you know, tonight. And we know that Rock is prepping Kanan for tonight. She gives him the whole speech of like, when you hit somebody, hit him twice in the heart and once where he used to think, so that she's like preparing him to kill somebody. Don't just shoot somebody to hurt them or to incapacitate them for a bit, you shoot to kill. And we start to get the like idea that she's prepping him to kill Detective Howard tonight. And it's like, well, wait, what the hell is going on? Why are we doing that? First of all, we don't kill cops. That brings unnecessary heat. Second of all, why are we doing that? Like, do we not want him to know that much? Which is very, very interesting. And for me, it started out with like, okay, is she prepping Kanan to go and hit one of Unique's crew, or just to be prepared because he about to get out on the corner or whatever? So you think Rock is talking about Unique, but then as she continues to talk him through their little shooting practice and all of that, you can definitely tell like she's setting him up to actually hit Howard, which, child, that's a lot even to just think about. Speaking of like character development, we get a moment where we get to see Rock with her mom. She actually goes to church, and this to me just was like it gave us the character development that we needed, or moved us forward in understanding Rock a little bit better. But also it just reaffirmed that she's about to do some biblically disrespectful shit. She trying to get right with God. Like that's the first thing I thought when I saw Rock sitting in these dang on pews at this church. I'm like, oh, sis is about to get mad, spicy, and disrespectful out here in these streets. So she's talking to God now. She mentioned that when she was in the hospital chapel, but now it's like, oh, okay. And they use this scene for actually multiple things. So I got that initially, but then when she actually has a conversation with her mom, she's talking about like, do you think that how you raised me has any impact on how I actually turned out? And her mom takes offense to it because it's like, don't blame me for what you are and who you are and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think that that was what Rock was doing. I think Rock was making peace with what she has set Kanan up to do and some of the decisions that she's making, because she's starting to feel like nothing that she does is going to deter Kanan or shift Kanan from his focus and trying to get into the business, trying to become his own drug boss and all of that jazz. And then for her putting him in the position that she's putting him into, she's trying to figure out and like validate, like, okay, I'm not actually setting my son back. I'm not actually setting my son up because he wants to do this anyway. And if he's going to do it, then I might as well be the leader for him and all that. So I really think that she has this conversation with her mom to make peace with some of the decisions that she has put in place, or she's lining up to put in place, and using Kanan in doing so. And I don't know if y'all noticed this, or I might be wrong, but did y'all notice that this is the same playground that from the start of that series where Rock made Kanan go back and fight with them dang on socks with them quarters in it? Kanan meets Detective Howard at the same playground that the series started off with, and I was like, yo, this is very, very serendipitous. Kanan first shot to Detective Howard hits him in the shoulder, and then he shoots him again, but we don't actually get to see it. So thank God for the preview trailer, because we could tell in the preview for next week that Detective Howard isn't dead yet. He close, but he isn't dead yet. And then that even makes me think of like, so we got the whole play out of Rock telling him when you shoot to kill, and he was very close range, so it's not like he was gonna miss. So did he strategically not hit Howard to kill him? Because Rock told him, hit him where his heart at twice and hit him where he used to think. Those are the only two places that you can hit. So why are we putting bullets in people's shoulders? Like, where did the other bullet go? Because before we can actually see it, the whole scene goes to black. And then also, why are you wearing Unique's jacket? And that brings me to what I wanted to say by the end of the episode. All right, so it's set up for you to believe that he's wearing Unique's jacket so people can see him and be like, yeah, I think I saw Unique's jacket when the cop was shot over here on this playground. I think Unique might have did it. Whoop-de-whoop. He killed Detective Howard, and they trying to blame Unique. That is what it looks like on the surface. That's what it looks like if you're really not paying attention. Now, the other thing, y'all, the other thing that I think is happening here, Kanan is wearing the jacket to set up Unique so that people can visually see that this is Unique, but to also paint or push Detective Howard into a corner. So for me, Kanan did not kill him because he wasn't supposed to kill him, but he was supposed to hurt him. And this to me is Rock taking out an insurance policy with Detective Howard. The moment that Detective Howard comes back to and is in the hospital recovering and can speak to who did this to him, because that's the first question the police are going to ask. Who did this to you? Detective Howard has to say Unique, and that forces him to stay on Rock's side, because then he would be perjuring himself if he ever goes back on the story. So it's one thing for Rock to have a conversation with him at the hospital earlier in the episode and then say, if I do this for you, if I connect you with Kanan, then I get a pass. You got to help me get rid of Unique, and you just take his word for it and he say okay. It's a whole other thing for you to take out an insurance policy, for you to send that son to hit him and then put him in a position to say it was Unique that did it, send a whole force after him while you figure out your little family matters, fathers knows best on this side. But I now have the full force of the police going towards my enemy that's completely outside of you. So whether you living and breathing, walking or whatever, they gonna still go because they think that he did this to you, and they're gonna ride for blue regardless. So to me, this was Rock taking out an insurance policy on the whole situation with Detective Howard, setting herself up so that she can make the moves that she's really trying to make I don't necessarily believe that she wanted to actually kill Detective Howard, or she wanted Kanan to actually kill Detective Howard, because I believe if she really wanted him to die, then he would be dead by the end of the episode. But y'all, I'm gonna make another video about it because I know this one is getting mad long. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Let me know what you think about this theory. Let me know what your predictions are for the season finale. Let me know all that and more in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button before you go and watch another video. I have my full Powerbook 3 Raising Kanan playlist link for you right here. It would be great for you to go back and rewatch these as we prepare for the season finale of this explosive new series from STARZ and Power in the Power universe. I've definitely been enjoying it. I know you have too. Catch up and get ready for next week. I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye.